stuff from the top of that tote to top off this tote. So when I get back down there, I'm going to pull that other one back a little bit, put another one in front of it, and then repeat the process. So, but yeah, so far, man, this thing is really pumping out the firewood. It's really hard to wrap my head around the difference. It's a tremendous difference. And yep, so I'm working my way up to the upper wood lot, I guess I could call it. I don't really do anything up there. Active regen, yay! But I don't really do anything up here. I just, store the wood for seasoning. Our property, the way the wind goes, is usually like a, I guess they call it like a northeasterly. In the wintertime, it blows from northeastern Pennsylvania across New Jersey in like a southeastern direction. So, and then in the summertime, it does the opposite. It actually blows from the southeast to the northwest across our property. So right where I put this stuff, in the wintertime, it doesn't really get as much airflow because we've got state lands alongside of us, and it's pretty dense forest, and the trees do slow the wind down, but it does come through still. Trust me, we know, because we're constantly replacing fence from junk trees falling down. So, but that's kind of why I put it up here. But in the summertime, that wind comes across the valley here, and it comes across the top of the evergreens to the bottom of the property, and almost like a direct shot right into the IBC totes. So it does a pretty good job drying things out. I'll have to pull out the moisture meter at some of these firewood stacks I got in these totes back here. Stick the prongs in them for the stuff that's been sitting since last, I guess, mainly the end of last winter, maybe middle of last winter. So right now, I don't have any earth-shattering record firewood storage at the moment. I'm somewhere around 7.5 cord. So I'm gonna wind up burning wood that is relatively freshly split. It just it is the way it is what it is. It's kind of the way things go around here. Simply because prior to me having this brute force here, I have never been able to pump out firewood this quickly. The very little bit of energy and time I have left at the end of the day, with weather issues and things like that, I've never been able to push out this much firewood. It's a whole nother level. So it's definitely a game changer for the Mount Tammany Ridge channel for sure. So, but I'm gonna work my way back down to the wood yard, and we'll catch up back there. All right, so we're down here at the wood yard, and you guys might remember I had told you I'd bring you along when I got around to adjusting the spool valve for the auto retract. So if you look right there, you'll see a jam nut with an Allen screw right there on that right spool valve. So I'm gonna adjust that again. I need to get the machine fired up and bring it up to full throttle where operation throttle would be. So I'm gonna get that fired up. It's gonna be noisy. I'm probably not gonna be able to talk much through the whole thing because trying to compete with the motor and not having the right you know, type of mic, you're probably not going to hear anything I'm saying. So, and of course, I don't want to be screaming across the neighborhood either. So, but yeah, let's get this thing fired up, and it's a super easy adjustment. I was informed that it was clockwise to turn that screw, but it turns out it's actually counterclockwise. But you know, no big thing. So I'm going to turn that Allen screw counterclockwise to get this thing to react properly. So let's get to it. right, everybody, I'm finally back down at the wood yard. This morning I got caught up chasing a couple other loose ends, and hope you guys can hear me over this plane. This plane is flying over above me. It's really loud. But yeah, so she had me come up. I got some lunch, and then a buddy of mine stopped over. He hunts just off our property line here in the state land, and he accesses his stand and several different stands from our property. So he swung by to say hi and see what was going on, came down, checked out the splitter, things like that. And I wound up deciding to take a little bit of a break from this. We went out on a hike in the woods and did a little bit of bushwhacking, getting back to a stand. The overgrowth in the woods on the old path has gotten a little bit out of hand, so I helped him get to his stand. And then when I came back, I took a little bit of a reprieve from that hike. And then the wife and I went out to the office out front of the house, and we got some good dirt in the flower planter I made her the other day, and we put some topsoil in, and she's up there right now as we speak, getting a couple of things planted in there. So yeah, that's what's been going on all day. But I took you guys along for trying to keep the sun out of the out of the camera, but I took you guys along for my my splitting frenzy today, and I'm very happy with the results. Very, very happy. I don't know if you'll be able to see here behind me, but that pile, holy moly, this thing ate through that pile pretty quick. I mean, there's a lot of stuff buried in there still. I'd say maybe, I don't know, a third of a quart or two, still kind of buried in there. I'll pick through it tomorrow after work, and we'll get that all tidied up. So, but yeah, I mean, that pile was every bit of 4 feet tall, and probably, I don't know, 20 or so feet long by probably 10 feet wide. And I only had a little tiny notch out of it from a couple face cords that I did early on when I got this machine here. And today I just went hog wild. This machine really did awesome. I actually got more than a cord. I think I got like a cord and a third today. So very, very happy with those results. There is no way I would have ever been able to do that kind of work with the other machine. It was just so slow, and you know, just getting everything set up and start up, you know, getting some rounds cut and stacked and kind of near the splitter. And then I had, you know, a lot of those rounds in the beginning were so big that there was no way I was going to be able to pick one up after another without hurting myself. So I wound up using the excavator, and of course that thing was running the whole time because I don't want to burn out the starter. And yeah, it was just costly having multiple machines running the whole time, and really just an annoyance. So but this thing, all that problem goes away. Aside from bucking up the wood with the chainsaw, you know, everything else from that point on is just the splitter, and you know, maybe the skid steer to move a tote or hold up log lift bags or something like that. So been really cool. But instead of rambling about this, let's ramble a little bit about the machine. So so far I got good luck on getting the spool valve adjusted properly for the auto retract. That's taking care of. The thing's running awesome now as far as the reverse auto, the auto retract. I did change the position on the splitting wedge a little bit. I think the results are similar to what they were when they were one notch up, except the larger pieces are coming out above rather than below, which I think is better. So that's working out pretty good. And there's one tote, two tote, the third and fourth one are up top already. You know, I didn't want to empty out the YouTube the YouTube splitting tent here too
too soon before I closed out this video. But boy, what a beautiful sight to see them totes clean. Now, speaking of totes, that one there, that's the only one I got left out of 21 totes or something like that. So now I didn't split, 20 totes, worth of wood. I think I've probably done, since I got the machine here, I'd have to say probably 5 cord. So yeah, no, I'd say no, 4 cord, sorry, overestimate there, 4 cord. And this one's going to be probably 4 1/3. So yeah, that's right, because I had a lineup up there already, so I was remembering incorrectly there. But yeah, about 4 1/4 cord this will be once this tote split. So this is pretty awesome. Super happy. So kind of a little bit of a teaser. In the next video, after I get this 1/3 of a cord split in that tote, I'm going to be taking that spool, okay, and I'm going to be bringing that over here and hope I might be able to slide that spool in underneath this outfeed tray, okay? Because if I can do that, then what I can do is basically extend my outfeed tray onto the table. And on the other side, what we're going to do is we're going to have the skid steer or the tractor over here with the forks holding up a log lift bag at the other side of the spool. So as I'm sending this stuff out and across the spool table, Teresa can be over there pitching them into the log lift bag, which will be great. That'll be really nice to be able to do that. That way there's less bending over involved and all that. And speaking of bending over, I'm glad I said that, because it reminded me. I was watching Larry and Robin's video earlier today, and Robin was talking about how her and Larry had put their log splitter up on a pallet and their jack stand up on a log round to elevate the log splitter to a comfortable height so that they didn't feel like they were hunched over. And I got to tell you, that was absolutely one of the most painful things for me during the log splitting process with this Champion over here, and it was the height. And it's funny that they made a video about what they did there, because I was going to do the same exact thing months ago, and obviously one of those things that never happened, even though it was on the list. So that's a huge back saver. This machine here, that is not a problem. That is not a problem at all. The height of this machine is fantastic. Never did my lower back wasn't achy, my upper back wasn't achy from hunching over, nothing. It's freaking perfect. So now I don't have a lot of time with any of the other manufacturers other than Timberwolf. There was a Timberwolf that I used at my friend Pete's place, and that one was very, very low, and that was awful for me. Luckily, my my time that I used that thing was short enough to where, I was able to be rid of that and back to the firewood processor fired up, and me being back in the excavator. But yeah, that was very, very low. This thing's awesome. I'm sure there's a lot of the other manufacturers that have a very similar working height, because I imagine across the board, lower back and upper back pain from being hunched over a log splitter for hours and hours on end is probably one of the biggest gripes that anybody can have, I imagine. But so yeah, this is the end of the day for me. I've had about enough of trekking back and forth through here, rolling my ankles on chunks of bark and little tiny branch pieces that were in that pile over at my friend's house. And it just got to the point where I just started scooping the stuff up in the piles that they were in over there, putting them in the dump trailer and bringing them here. It was too tedious for me to be over there with a pickaroon and my hands just digging through a pile, picking out what I wanted. So I just, took the bad with the good, you know what I mean? And there's that big, beautiful pile. That thing stands up about 12 feet tall or so. And I got oodles of logs over there to buck up and split. And then I mentioned to you guys the other day, I also have this pile of maple over here. So we got some maple and some, I think that's a birch of some sort. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but there's maple in there for sure. And I think some of it is birch. So we're going to be probably working on that sooner than later. I do need to get that out of the way, make room for more. I got a lot more up on top of the mountain that I got to bring back. Most of it would be ash, and I imagine there's probably going to be some more maple in there too. And then on to that, you know, I'd say about 12 foot high and about 3 feet or maybe 5 feet back into that stack is all ash that I got from another friend of mine on the other side of the mountain. And yeah, I was hoping to bring you guys along for that extraction there, but it was just one of those things where it was a combination of me getting free firewood and being able to hang out with them and bull crap for a while, and you know, just kind of shoot it. So we enjoyed the time we got to talk and work a little bit together. So I didn't want to jam a camera in his face. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna call this the end of the video. I appreciate you guys hanging out down here at the wood yard with me, and I had a good time today for sure, especially seeing all this progress. And you can see the slash pile down there is pretty crazy. It's getting pretty big. Well, I'll probably end up doing maybe tomorrow after I get done splitting up this last IBC tote. I'll probably relocate that slash pile at least. That way I'm not tripping over it anymore. So, but until tomorrow or whenever it is I actually post the next video, I know I've been really kind of pumping these videos out pretty hardcore since I got the machine here, but I'm just so darn excited. I can't think about anything else, to be honest with you. I'm just that excited about it. It's completely changed the way my wood yard operates and efficiency. So there's going to be a lot more because, like I said, still that's all I can think about. So again, thank you very much, AJ and Brute Force, Josh. I really appreciate the opportunity to be running this beautiful piece of equipment here on Mount Tammany Ridge channel, and I really do appreciate it. And we're gonna keep pumping out some decent videos on this machine. And if any of you viewers have any questions about the machine, if there's anything I can't answer off the cuff, I will make sure I reach back to AJ and ask him. That way I have an answer for you. Or then again, you could always completely go over my head and and call AJ directly at 833 splitter. That's 833 splitter for shaverequipment.com, and talk to AJ. And if you're interested in any one of these machines, you're gonna love them. So thanks again for hanging out with me here. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. All right, and we'll see you soon.